Good evening, I'm COLWYN ABRAMS with tonight's regional news. We begin with news coming out of Honduras. Honduran ex-president Juan Orlando Hernandez is to be extradited to the United States as early as next week, Honduras security minister says. Mr. Hernandez, who governed from 2014 to January this year, was arrested at his home in Tegucigalpa in February. He is accused of being involved in a drug trafficking ring, which included his younger brother, Tony Hernandez, who was last year sentenced in the U.S. to life in prison. The ex-president denies any wrongdoing. Security Minister Raymond Sibillan said that the extradition will happen next week, sometime between Wednesday and Friday. Mr. Sibillan said that the former president would be handed over to the DEA, who would take him to New York. A judge granted the extradition request last month. An appeal against the decision lodged by Mr. Hernandez's legal team was dismissed. The former president faces 3 charges: conspiracy to import a controlled substance into the U.S. using or carrying firearms, including machine guns, and conspiracy to use or carry firearms. Mr. Hernandez says he is innocent and that the charges are based on information fabricated by drug traffickers who want to incriminate him in revenge for what he describes as his government's tough anti-drug policies. The 53-year-old has been in police custody since his arrest in February, just weeks after he was replaced by the newly elected president, Xiomara Castro. We now turn our attention to news coming out of Jamaica. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has cautioned against embracing criminals and dons over members of the Jamaican Constabulary Force, JCF, in the fight against crime, warning that criminals will rape your daughters and pillage your communities. He said the police has transformed and is now becoming a people's force. However, he noted that there is a need for the wider citizenry to change their attitude towards members of the police force. And in calling for greater improvement between citizens and the police, Holness said citizens who are constantly being disrespectful to the police should know that crime producers do not have their best interests at heart. The criminals are not your friends, and they are going to pillage your communities and rape your daughters, and then you can't say anything about it, warned Holness during the recent groundbreaking ceremony for the Little London Police Station in Westmoreland. The Prime Minister said far too often, as seen in viral videos, citizens are choosing to side with criminal elements against the police, a cultural practice that he said must change. The Prime Minister also noted that there are procedures to deal with inappropriate behavior of police and urged persons to adhere to the process. And finally, former St. Lucian Prime Minister Alan Chastanet has revealed that he had a very frank discussion with the visiting Secretary General of CARICOM, Dr. Carla Barnett. CARICOM is not working, and I was very honest with her that as Prime Minister I was spending less and less time in CARICOM and more time at the OECS level, Chastanet told reporters on Wednesday. Regional leaders who met virtually in a special session on Tuesday, May 11, unanimously agreed to appoint the Belize national as the 8th CARICOM Secretary General. She assumed office on August 15, 2021. Currently, the opposition leader, Chastanet, recalled that Burnett's appointment came during his tenure as Prime Minister. He later wrote on his official Facebook page that he was impressed with the vision and passion which Dr. Burnett has for the Caribbean community and wished her and her team the greatest success during her tenure. But in telling reporters that CARICOM was not working, Chastanet called attention to the organization's ability to make timely decisions. He disclosed that the issue grappled with the most was a matter of sovereignty. And that is the end of tonight's regional news. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.